So, Mike, this whole deal where, and Lindsey Graham always says this, well, when we do anything like this, it just adds to the recruiting of ISIS. Is there any rationale for that kind of talk?
I've decided in my old age that I'm never going to discuss Lindsey Graham again, so I'm just going to let that go right by, our old and dear friend. The false choice here is to have this waterboarding or not. Well, that's not really the choice. The choice is, shall we continue with the Obama administration's policy of droning everything into outer space, slaughtering people all over this country, all over the world, I'm sorry, and having all sorts of, any male that's killed by a drone is automatically regarded as a terrorist in order to keep the civilian deaths low and to keep their terrorist death count high. When Obama came in, they realigned what was a drone target and what wasn't a drone target, and what a collateral damage is and it wasn't. Well, what you have are a lot of collateral damage and a lot of dead terrorists. There's something to that. There's not really a bad thing about a dead terrorist, but you haven't had a chance to interrogate them. You don't know where the next level is. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what their next plans are. You don't have a chance to talk to them at all. And so to send out teams and capture them and bring them in, then you interrogate them. Now, your next question is, when you're interrogating them, do they waterboard them because they enjoy it, because they get some perverse delight out of it, because they think it's fun? No, they do it because they think it works, and it does work. And I'll tell you, there are any number of people in the intelligence sphere who will tell you that it works in the extreme cases with the extreme guys. And so the point is, I think Mr. Trump's making, and the point that I want to make here is, let the guys who know how to do this do what they do. Make the boundary markers a little further out, as you suggest, JD. Let the law give them some license. Stop the droning, start the capturing, and let's go back to the intelligence business instead of the international slaughter business, because there's nothing humane about the droning attacks that we've had over the last 8 years.
So, Sam, you know Donald Trump pretty well, and maybe you saw the interview that the president gave ABC News, his first interview since taking office. Here again is President Trump on torture, on waterboarding, on enhanced interrogation techniques.
I will tell you, I have spoken to others in intelligence, and they are big believers in, as an example, waterboarding.
You did tell me.
Because they say it does work.
So, there is a report out there, and this is more of the Washington insider stuff, of Michael Isikoff at Yahoo News saying that the new CIA director, Mike Pompeo, was blindsided by reported draft executive order to reinstate waterboarding and enhanced interrogation techniques. Brother Flanagan, a military veteran himself who served in the first Gulf War, says, you know what? We need to allow our intelligence experts the latitude legally to do this. Sam, do you think President Trump will ask for that latitude, and do you think Congress will grant it to amend the law to use, quote, enhanced interrogation techniques?
Well, I think what President Trump wants is to make sure that our intelligence services and our CIA interrogators don't have to fear that they're going to be prosecuted as they did during the Obama administration. If you recall, in the early days, Eric Holder was thinking and strongly considering about prosecuting these people for what they did during the Bush administration. And President Trump does believe that he is going to, say that you can waterboard. He has said this in the past. He said this publicly. And the fact of the matter is, if you look at the history of it, and I recommend reading James Mitchell's book that was released last November, he actually conducted these interrogations. They were done humanely, and they were done because they had to be done. We didn't waterboard 25, 50, 100 people we captured. We waterboarded, I think, 3 to 5 high-level people, including Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. And the idea that CIA interrogators don't want to do what they have to do to get the information that they need for fear of prosecution, for fear of Democrats on Capitol Hill, and frankly also John McCain and Lindsey Graham, is, it's a disservice to America, and it's going to hurt our national security. So the short answer is, I do think that they're going to be allowed to waterboard under this administration. If it's not passed by Congress, I think it's held under the plenary powers of the president, frankly, for national security.
All right. So do you think, Flanagan, do you think President Trump is going to loosen up those rules if he has that inherent plenary powers commander-in-chief, as Brother Nunberg says? About 30 seconds, Mike.
I think that President Trump, unlike a president we've had for a long time, values the safety and security of this nation, his family, his state, all of our families, all of our states. I really think Donald Trump cares that we are safe and happy and healthy. And if that's going to get us there, it's going to be okay with him.